What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Overall, had a pretty break-even day, pretty uneventful, honestly, Saturday, just because there was only one League of Legends game. It was the big tournament final. It was MSI tournament final, which was Gen.G versus T1. I predicted yesterday that Gen.G was the better team. They were going to 2-1 T1 in those three games. What ended up happening is T1 actually 2-1 them, okay? Gen.G ultimately wins the whole series, so they pull it back and win the whole series 3-2, but we only bet on the first three maps, so it doesn't really matter. But what's good about that is you guys will see in League of Legends, I always talk about the winning team, and I'm actually going to hop into the games and how they went. The winning team's going to get way more kills. The losing teams are going to get way less kills, all right? So Gen.G only won one of the three games, so I took Ruler under in this Collier discount. Ruler goes way under in this line here because his team only won one game. And then this was yesterday's YouTube play. Again, I predicted a 2-1 to Gen.G because they are the best team in the world. T1 ends up winning those two games. So Owner goes over because his team won 2 out of 3 of the games, and then Ruler goes under kills this time. I took assists up here and then kills down here. He goes under because his team only won one game, right? And I can actually show you guys this and how the games went, right? Here's map 1. Gen.G only gets 6 kills because they lost, and then the highlighted team right here is T1. This means who wins. They get 17 kills because they won the game, right? So if we go to map 2, this is when Ruler goes ahead and gets a lot of his kills and stuff. You see Ruler gets 7 kills and 11 assists in this game because his team wins the game. So even though we took him under 18.5 and he only got 14 assists in 3 games, 11 of the assists came in the one win they had, right? So if they would have won 2 games, just imagine that. He probably would have got like 22 assists, and he probably would have got maybe like 15, 16, or 17 kills because he would have won so much. Like I said in yesterday's video, he actually averages 7 kills per win, and that's exactly what he did yesterday in the win that they had in these 3 games. And then game 3 was T1 favored like crazy, right? So again, just look, this is why League of Legends correlation is so amazing, right? Even though we missed yesterday, it went opposite correlation. Beautiful that it did that, honestly. And you guys know that we win long-term in League of Legends because it's such a amazing esport to bet on. And this is exactly why, right? T1 gets 20 kills when they win. Gen.G only got 2 kills in the whole game when they lost, right? So the losing team is going to get way less stats. The winning team is going to get way more stats. You guys will see everyone on T1, if you look at their kills, deaths, assists, everyone on T1, if you go down the line, right? This guy got 12 assists. This guy got 6 assists, 5 kills. This guy got 5 kills, 5 assists. This guy got 7 kills, 9 assists. This guy got 2 kills, 17 assists, right? As the support. Everyone on the left side of the screen that ends up losing gets nothing, right? They only get 1 kill here, 1 kill here, and everyone else does horribly bad, right? The most assists that anyone got was 2, right? So the winning team is going to get a ton more stats. The losing teams are going to get a ton less stats. Again, this doesn't matter, but game 4 and 5, Gen.G then ends up going the other side of the spectrum and ends up winning 13-3 and then 15-4, and then they end up taking the championship because at the end of the day, they were the better team. They just did not end up winning that kind of like 3-game series that we had to bet on. So that's how League of Legends works, guys. If you don't know that, then I don't know, welcome in, because that is what we're doing a lot in these summer months here. We have Counter-Strike that hit for us, and then this was pretty close because you guys will see here, I actually took the overs. The unders ended up hitting, right? Counter-Strike's also very correlated in its own little way based off of game length. So if it's a long game, that means more kills. If it's a short game, that means less kills. This one right here actually did watch. It was a very short game. Keyed Stars ended up like dominating both games in a row, and that caused both of these guys to actually go under just because it was a short game. So you guys will see in CFL, these guys go way over together because there was a lot of passing. And then these guys go under together because it was a shorter game, right? So again, at the end of the day, pretty break even. If you guys want to see how we have done over a longer period of time, since May 1st, we're up about 120 units in that time frame. And here is actually a really like cool thing that I just found out you could do on Pickett. So if you don't know, first of all, I only bet $1 on every bet because I'm heavily limited on Prizepicks. I showed that like 2 or 3 videos ago now, and I show that a lot, but my $1 is pretty much my unit size, right? So some weeks, guys, on the VIP, you're going to have weeks like this. Like the first 5 days of July, we literally won every single day. And then some weeks, you'll have weeks like this, right? And you guys will actually see a helpful graph of how this week has gone, and it reflects this, of course, is that we had crazy spikes, right? Monday was a crazy spike. Gave some back, and then Thursday was a crazy spike where we go up like 15 units or whatever it is, and then kind of go give some back, right? So overall, this, some weeks are going to be like this week, some weeks are going to be like this week, some weeks we might lose, right? Of course, there could be losing weeks in this whole journey and whole span of times that things happen. But over 2025, guys, we're up about 240 units, and last year we went up 600 units using this exact same strategy. And that strategy, put simply, is correlation, right? Whether that's on League of Legends, whether that is on Counter-Strike, whether that's on football. And it's very important to look over the whole span of the week, and that's why it's important to track your bets, because you'll see the 6th of July, we lost. We went down a unit. Monday, we absolutely crushed it, went up $10, 10 units. And then we go down 4 units. So this Monday pretty much paid for these 2 days. And then we go up 14, or let's call it 15 units on the 10th. And we go down 10 units the next days. So again, this 10th day paid for these 2 days, and we go up like 4 or 5 units for this 10th day. This 7th day paid for the 8th and 9th, and we go up 2 units, right? Let's just call this 10 minus 4, 10 minus 8. That's 2 units in these 3 days. 3-day stretch, even though we lose 2 out of 3 of the days, right? So you gotta look at the big picture. You gotta take everything into consideration, because these big days where you get these where you get especially these 10x's and 9.5x's. I think this was Thursday, right? This was that big Thursday. We went up 15 units. As you guys see, even though everything hit on Thursday, it's not like that much hit, right? We hit this, and then we hit some 2-mans here and there because these were nice plays. But overall, guys, we've had days where we've gone up 40 units alone. This was actually back in June, so maybe a month ago now. Went up 40 units because we actually strung multiple of these 4-mans together, right? So this is what we're capable of. If you guys don't know, this is also the past, like I said, 2.5 months that we are up. That means if you're a $10 bettor, you'd be up $1,200 betting, you would be up, guys. So let's go ahead and get into the actual entry of the day. Let's hop into Prizepicks and talk about the entry that I am liking to find here. So first of all, first pick is going to be in the Wnba. If this would load for me. All right, so first pick, Wnba, and we're going to go to Kelsey Plum, and we are going to take her over assists, all right? You guys will see here, I don't really like looking at the last 5 games, but she has been absolutely crushing it. I actually have her stats pulled up right here on Outlier. You guys will see over her past 5 games, again, like I said, she's crushing it. Her last 10 games, she's crushing it. The real reason why I like this is she's playing a very, very bad defense in the Connecticut Sun, all right? So if you look, assists allowed for guards, they're actually bottom 2 in the league for allowing assists for guards, and overall, again, they're bottom 2 in the league. So she's facing a very, very weak matchup in the Sun, and against weak matchups, she does very, very well, okay? So you'll see some of these other games where she's actually going under. Lynx, I always talk about, is by far the number 1 defense. So Lynx is, she goes under versus the Lynx, she goes under versus the Lynx. This game was the Sky, which actually, honestly, have a pretty weak defense, but you guys see she gets 5, so she was just 1 away there. And then over here, they play the Fever, which technically, I guess, is the number 1 against assists. I always put the Lynx above the Fever, but Fever also have a very strong defense. So the times she's gone under, she's played the Lynx, right? She goes under. We kind of expect her to go under. Her line probably against the Lynx was maybe even 4 or 4.5. And then against the Fever, she goes under, which is the best team against assisting. Again, the Sky, she goes under versus the Sky, whatever. But every other time that she has played versus some of these teams, she goes over. I actually didn't realize this 12 assist game was versus the Lynx, which again, that's very impressive based on how amazing the Lynx are at defending. They have the defensive player of the year and stuff like that. So right here is a really, really strong entry because she just came off of a 12 assist game, and every time that she's gone under, she's actually played very strong teams in assisting. Now she's playing the Sun, which is a very weak team, and you guys will see they're 11th out of 13th teams in the WNBA against assists, all right? So that's going to be the first play. The second play, guys, as you see, there's no real League of Legends on the board, which is obviously a bummer, but actually League is coming back in I think 1 or 2 days, all right? So there's going to be a lot of League coming out probably mid next week, I would say. So we'll probably be able to bet on that by Tuesday or something like that, hopefully. The next play of the day is actually going to be in the CFL. If you guys don't know, we bet on the CFL quite a lot. I like the CFL, and football's football, guys. Whether it's college, whether it's NFL, you can bet on football in a lot of different ways. You can bet on it correlated ways. And in college football season last year, as you guys saw, we went up 600 units last year. Probably 350 of those units were in NFL and college football season. We had November where we went up 85 units in November. And football's football. So football is a big part of this channel, and love betting on football here, and Canadian football is no different. What I'm doing is I'm taking Nathan Rourke to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns, all right? Now, the reason why I like this is, first of all, Nathan Rourke is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he is playing the absolute worst defense in the league, right? So if we sort by points per game, points allowed for defenses, you guys will see that he is playing Edmonton, right? So it's BC versus Edmonton. He's playing Edmonton. They're the worst defense in the league by far. They give up 34.5 points per game. And then if you sort by passing yards per game, you guys will see, again, they're by far and away the worst team in the league for passing yards per game also, right? They allow 323 passing yards per game, which is like almost double some of these other teams. Very, very bad defense here. And you guys will see that is a big reason why I like this. You guys will also see in the box scores, they played each other. I think this was the first game of the year, but Nathan Rourke went ahead and actually threw for 3 touchdowns in this game. So the last matchup they had, Nathan Rourke threw for 3 touchdowns. And what I also like, other than this game, but if I back up here, other than this game, you'll see these kind of 4 games are the games they've played so far this year. The Elks normally kind of keep up with these teams. They actually have a pretty solid offense, and they kind of remind me of almost like a Miami Hurricanes team, or one of those teams that's just like decent on offense. Actually, I mean, the Hurricanes were very, very good on offense last year, but they're good on offense, but just horrible on defense. So they have to keep up with their offense. And what this leads to is very high scoring games. So we'll actually see this team versus, we'll see this game versus Ottawa here. Ottawa game here was a very high scoring game with a lot of passing and stuff like that, because these teams had to keep keeping up with each other, where, you know, if one team scores, the other team has to go score. If one team scores, the other team has to go score, right? We've all probably watched football, and we've watched very boring games where the opposite of that's true. And then we've watched very exciting games where, all of this scoring is happening. So that is the same thing in CFL. Let's go ahead and lock that one in for the play of the day. Again, if you guys want to get into my VIP completely free, all you have to do is text me the word Bovada to my number on the screen, and I'll get you guys signed up for Bovada. If you are in one of these blue states right here, Bovada is legal for you, and you will be able to sign up for that. All you have to do is put $25 into the app. Once you do so, I will actually Venmo you back that money there, and it'll be pretty much be completely free for you, and it'll take maybe 5 to 10 minutes. All right, guys. So it's super simple. This was also the promo code that I gave out a couple days ago, code MASSIVE. You guys absolutely crushed it within a couple of hours. It was already used all the way up right here. So great to see a lot of people get into the VIP, a lot of first-time VIP members and stuff like that using this code. I know Friday was not so good, and then yesterday was kind of break even. But guys, when we hit these massive days, when we hit these big days like we've done Thursday, the reason why you signed up, man, like I'm telling you, that is when we win, and we've won, 15 out of 16 months that I've been doing this. All right, so just know we win long term. Last year we went up 600 units. This year so far, we're right at about 240 units, like I said, so far this year. You guys can sign up for Bovada. You guys can sign up for Better. You guys can sign up for Chalkboard. That'll all be in the description and the pinned comment, all right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Let's have a good Sunday. Monday, normally pretty slow days, not that much going on, but we're finding value where we can. I've already sent out probably like 3 or 4 picks for this morning. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.